When you're building organic objects in Maya, there's a kind of a strategy you need to use to work efficiently, and that is that you really want to keep the geometry as light as possible as you're working and as you're building. And what we mean by light is you want the geometry to have as few vertices and polygons and edges as possible. That lets you move shapes around easier. It just is a better way to model. Now, eventually, when you have large structures the way you want, you'll increase the amount of geometry, and it'll depend on what the intended purpose of an object is as to just how much you do that. If you're going out to film for a what's called a hero object, a foreground object, you probably want to put a good deal of geometry in. If it's for a game object or a background object, you'll want to put less. But in any case, you'll want to model with fairly light geometry and then add in geometry later. The question becomes, how do you know what the object's going to look like when you add in that additional object geometry to smooth it out? And Maya does have a smoothing function that will put that geometry in, and I guess you could go in and smooth it and then undo and back and forth, and that would kind of work, but Maya actually has a better way for you to do that. So we're going to go through that, and it's very easy technique to master. So first thing, we'll switch to the perspective view here, whatever of our techniques you want to use. And now we're going to go outside of Maya here, so we'll minimize it. And we need to find our course assets. And there's one course asset in this course, far less than some of the other courses because you're building everything on your own here. And this is called jaggedobject.mb. So there it is. You need to know where it is because you're going to have to navigate out and find it in just a second. So we can close this and go back to Maya, and now File, Import, and then navigate to it. And mine, it's on the desktop, and Maya Course 1 Assets, Jagged Object, there it is. We'll dolly in on this and select it, and now the way to see a smooth preview of this is very simple. It's just the 3 key. You can do this either from the number keys above the keyboard or from the number pad. Number pad might be a little bit more convenient, but if you're on a laptop, you might not have a number pad. So there it is. It's a smooth preview. It's a pretty good approximation, as you'll see in just a second, of what the object would look like if you added the additional geometry. Now there's another key here, which is the 2 key, which will give you kind of a hybrid. And there it is. And it's a little hard to see there, but what you've got is the edges and the vertices of the low resolution object just sort of around the smoothed out preview. So this kind of gives you everything at once. And I don't tend to use this view as much as maybe some people do, but it's there. And then you can go back to the original geometry with the 1 key. So that's it. 1, 2, and 3. Pretty straightforward. Now we can also actually smooth this out. And if we couldn't, it'd be kind of a waste to do all of this. And that's under the Mesh menu. And come right down here, and there it is, smooth. And boom, there it is. So you can see it looks pretty much like what the preview was. It's got extra geometry, extra vertices, extra faces. Tries to keep everything in the same topology as you had originally, which for this object means 4 vertex polygons. That's another thing. Organic models, as you're modeling them, you'll probably want to try to stay with with 4 vertex polygons as much as possible. It just makes things more predictable when they're subdivided, or if you're inserting edge loops or things like that. Is it absolutely required? No. Eventually, when you go out to output, things will, in almost all environments, get turned into triangles before they actually get rendered. A 4 vertex polygon can be non-planar. A 3 vertex polygon has to be planar. It's kind of a geometry axiom. So that's it. That's the preview and the smoothing. And that's it for this chapter, and we'll see you in the next one.